You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together with good drinks and good people. Smirnoff is the world's #1 vodka and is an official vodka partner of the NFL. And this year, Smirnoff is giving fans in select areas of the country a chance to win the ultimate game day experience. From tickets to sideline passes and much more, just head to WeDoGameDays.com until November 15, 2024 to enter for your chance to win. That's WeDoGameDays.com. Smirnoff, we do game days.
Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff number 21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. 21 plus. Ends November 15, 2024. See rules at website for participating area and other important details. Sponsored by Diageo Americas Inc., New York, New York.
Bada boom, sold.
Huh?
Just sold my car on Carvana. Dropping it off and getting paid today.
Already?
What, you still haven't sold yours? You told me about it months ago.
Is
the offer good?
Oh, the offer's great.
Don't have another car yet?
I could trade it in for this car I love.
Come on, what are we waiting for?
You're right.
Let's go.
Whether you're looking to sell your car right now or just whenever feels right, go to Carvana.com and sell your car the convenient way. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings.
Why are you listening to this show?
The podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
Feds found 1,000 bottles of lube at Flipper's house.
He had 7 weeks, 6 weeks to think of what it is that he was going to say in that initial press conference.
Flipper?
I love it to the death of me. I love it to the death of me.
His rep says he shops at Costco.
Huh.
Billy, how excited are you tonight about your team, FIU?
Pause up.
FIU is undergoing a real image change where they are trying to be cooler than some of the things in college football. Cooler by bringing in Pitbull, cooler by changing their uniforms and making it vicey.
But still losing.
Whoa, hold on. The game hasn't been played yet. What are you doing? Get out of here.
They've lost a lot this season.
Good point, Billy. Well put. You can catch Billy on the broadcast tonight,
right.
Whimpering and squeaking.
Well, whoa, guys, what are we doing here? What is this underselling that's going on here? Undercutting, if you will. So FIU had a rough season, yeah, maybe a little bit, but guess what? Every game starts 0-0.
You're right.
And tonight, Vice Night. Now, the Vice Night record right now is 0-1 because last season didn't go well when they had, Lamborghinis and Bentleys on the field and, the other team was celebrating. But this year's different. We turned a page. Said, you know what? No, not this year. No Lamborghinis on the field. No Bentleys on the field. We're sticking to business. Boats on the field.
Billy, I heard him talking about trying to get the FIU broadcast to celebrate him broadcasting from the boat. Is that what you wanted to do?
Well, sort of, yeah. No, well, come on, Dan. Cat's out of the bag now, I suppose. It's a private conversation, but there's a boat that's on the field. So as one does when they find out a boat's on the field and you're broadcasting the game, you say, hey, can we broadcast from that boat on the field? Because when are you going to get a chance to broadcast from a boat on the field again? I don't know.
Well, here's what FIU is doing, Stugotz. I don't think you've seen any of this, but FIU is really leaning into the Miami of style, optics, sunshine. FIU on a boat, wearing their uniforms and giving off uniforms that I like, Stugotz. They look cool. They look sleek and sharp, and I was surprised to see that I can still find new uniforms, to be something that's different, because all of this is giving off Miami. It's giving off Miami swag. I know I'm too old to be saying all of that, but you guys agree that those are cool-looking uniforms, right? Everyone here.
They'd look cooler if they were winning. That's all I'm saying.
What's your problem, guy?
I'm just saying they're 2-5. I mean...
You don't think those uniforms make the people wearing them look like automatic winners?
They're small is the problem. Not the uniforms, but the players. The players look a little smaller.
Well, no, the
than
players
the
are huge. That's why the uniforms look small by comparison. Not everyone can pull off the uniform, Dan. You know what I mean? Video show now. I am in the uniform. There we go. Ta-da!
Excellent.
They're also giving away
Billy.
these bucket hats today, Dan. Yeah. You want a Vice U bucket hat?
I love the bucket hat.
they're gonna be
Billy, I
giving
want to
these
go to the
away.
game. How much do you think tickets cost for a last minute? Maybe I just get a little bleacher seat.
I found there's someone singing the national anthem today, and they have a promo code for $5 tickets if you want to go.
Everyone should go.
We should go. Well, I'm going to be there already, but we should go.
Everyone in Miami excited for this game, Billy.
I'm with you. I'm supposed to do this. I heard rumblings that there may be someone at the game today. Rumblings that maybe there's some rumors and someone may be making an appearance at the game today. Rumors unconfirmed. I heard rumblings.
Why can't you be an FIU insider? You should be someone who breaks
rumors. I heard there's rumblings. Maybe I'm not saying who. I'm not gonna say who. Rumblings. Maybe someone may be there. Someone possibly maybe may be there. Rumblings. Possibly maybe. Definitely a boat though. That's gonna be there.
Nice.
We should all go to this game. We should all go to this game.
Yeah.
And there's only one great way to get tickets to this game. The Game Time app. The Game Time app. This sounds, especially if those rumbles are correct, and if
rumblings
person
maybe gonna be there.
Who's rumored to be there might be there. You're going to want to download that Game Time app and create an account and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Now, if your first purchase is an FIU ticket, you might actually save some credits after this. You may have some left over on your voucher. Who knows? Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time!
Game time. Vice night, Dan. Woo! The field is looking crisp. I was there yesterday walking around the field. They said, Billy, don't put out a picture of that boat yet. And I said, yes, sir. I will not do so. I do not want to get on your bad side, so I didn't do it. But I saw the boat there. Boat's huge.
Little broadcaster walkthrough?
It's a big boat. Oh, yeah.
It's a yacht.
Checking out the paint scheme. There's some pink on that field. I'll tell you that right now.
It's a yacht. And I already
told
know
us.
Some of you may think that boat's not big enough to be a yacht. Technically, if you have a bathroom inside the boat, it's a yacht.
Here's my rule on if a boat's a yacht. Can I afford it? No, it's a yacht. So every boat's a yacht.
Put it on the poll, please, at Batard Show. Is having a bathroom what makes it a yacht? Yes or no? At Batard Show. And I want to just ask you guys the question. I think in order to be named a yacht, and I'm just making this up and don't even know why I'm doing this, I just thought that it had to be over 50 feet. I didn't think it was just a bathroom. Couldn't you have a bathroom on a 30 or a 40-foot boat? And I don't think that people would consider looking at that a yacht.
Well, technically, the ocean is your bathroom.
What about the sea?
Wow. Are there
debatable.
sharks there?
Yeah.
That's how we know.
I think a yacht is any boat that you would feel like you weren't allowed to fish from.
The over 50 feet thing is what you say when you go to the boat store. It has to be over 50 feet.
The internet, with their AI algo, says over 40 feet
Yeah.
is the threshold. One person whose boat I went on said it has a bathroom, therefore it's a yacht. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I have a yacht, bro.
What about the engines? I think that boat had 4 of them.
Those are props.
I think feet.
That's what this person says.
I think the measurement is size. I don't think it's bathrooms. I don't think it's anything other
I think
than
it's
that.
the motion of the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not helpful, not useful in any way. We're going to get to Stugotz's weekend observations in just a second. But as it relates to, and we always wander away from here, and it frustrates me, Billy, I insist. I know you only like doing the things that you like to do and not the things I want you to do. And as soon as I endorse an idea, you don't want to do it anymore.
Falsehoods.
But the mumbling insider needs to be a character. Like
Which one?
It's you as the mumbling insider. I don't know anything, but here are rumblings, and you're reporting things while not reporting things. Like, for example, that someone might be at FIU tonight that would get people excited.
Possibly.
Sounds like Pitbull's going to be there, guys. I don't know.
No one said that. No one said that.
That sounds like I think Pitbull's
possibly rumbling.
Okay, you've seen we're in the information age. Okay, Netflix is an information company. They're not a video and streaming company. They want all of your information. Everybody wants all of your information. The insiders on ESPN are making tons and tons of money. Mike Ryan has created a character here who I believe to be an NCAA NIL insider and a Messi-related news somehow insider. I want you to be the mumbling information insider that reports things
that no one
that
understands.
Are shocking. Not that no one understands.
I'm going to need some information for that to work out.
I know,
but some info. Maybe possibly we're not
If you
sure.
mumble, you could always say, and you get it wrong, you could always say, I didn't say that.
Information superhighway.
It's the way to do it. You'll always have plausible deniability because you're never actually reporting anything.
Deniability.
I want this character.
All right, folks, it's Mike Ryan. Need to talk to you about Game Time. For my money, the best secondary ticket marketplace there is. And now, with basketball season right around the corner, they're playing preseason games. We got regular season NBA right there. You can feel it in the air. You want to be at those games. The sights, the sounds, the celebrities. I get it. So why don't you use Game Time to find your NBA ticks? And now, Game Time has this new exciting feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. With Game Time Picks, it helps to make curation easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. All in pricing too, folks. You click a little button and there are no surprises at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
Dan Le Batard.
Sports.
Stugotz.
More sports.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Before we get to weekend observation, something we didn't talk about yesterday, and we were remiss in not talking about it, a couple of things actually from college football. Rewarding fans for throwing things on the field, which is just magical. And Cam Ward is the best University of Miami quarterback there's ever been. Now, they have the wonderful ingredients of you don't trust their defense at all, and you don't trust their coach either. But my God, is that fun. The quarterback's better than everybody, and I don't trust anything else about this team. But, man, maybe they'll win 45-40 every time because their quarterback's great.
It is fun. It's wildly entertaining. You do wonder if you're a Canes fan, I'd be interested what Mike thinks about this. Like, you keep flirting with losses every single week, and eventually you're going to lose.
It's because their defense isn't that good, and their offense is very good, and Cam Ward will be reckless as well. So they're just giant plays all over the place. Louisville does that to everybody. Louisville's been doing that for years, but everyone can put up the 50-yard play against Miami. Cal hasn't done it before or since. They did it a bunch of times to Miami.
Yeah, in terms of explosive plays, 50 yards or more, their metrics are that of a middling FCS team. So teams are going to keep challenging their DBs to make tackles in space. That's a book on them. They struggle with it. Thankfully, they put up 35-plus on everybody. I do think that there was a bit of an overreaction to – we can debate like the merits of how close this game was. They covered the spread. Louisville's a program that they've had weird game flows that don't necessarily
It's a good win to win at Louisville on the road. Yeah. Anybody winning
Louisville
at
has
Louisville
3 losses, and they're all to ranked teams by one score. As somebody that's been kind of having their heart pound out of their chest in the previous 2 games, the game flow of this one was totally different. I never for 1 second didn't think Miami wasn't in control of that game. Even
it was
that being
tied
said,
in the second half.
Mike,
there was like a weird 14-point swing inside of like 60 seconds, but it wasn't.
You can't
legit.
have. I understand what you're saying about leading, being a touchdown up, and feeling like you can score a touchdown whenever you want, but you can't tell me I don't care how much you believe in this team, that when it's 31-31 and you've got that defense in Cristobal, you're still not a little scared. Now, you've got the benefit of, and this is different than it's ever been, you've got the benefit of, you know, your quarterback is better than everyone else on your team, because when I say he's the best University of Miami quarterback ever, Stugotz, Ken Dorsey and Gino Torretta, people who won Heisman's, they won it because the other players around them were the first rounders. They had so many first rounders. Testaverde is the only one where you were like, holy shit, that guy can play no matter who's with him, and he still had amazing talent with him. Miami, yeah, I mean, look, I like their receivers. Restrepo is going to be one of the most popular and going to be the most decorated receiver in the University of Miami's history. Cam Ward is the best quarterback this program has ever had. And I know that Vinny Testaverde was a number 1 overall pick. What I'm saying is I have never seen a quarterback be this much better than all the other quarterbacks who are playing football. He can score against anybody. Now, I know it wasn't that long ago that they only had 10 points at Cal, but I'm watching that game and I'm like, well, he can bring him back, because look at him. Every time I'm watching one of his games, it's more than 300 yards. It's 4 touchdowns. It might be a couple of interceptions and a fumble, but statistically, per game, no quarterback at the University of Miami has started close to being what this is. Never mind, like, near it. No one has started like Cam Ward. This is the most spectacular start in the history of a position that the University of Miami has had some good players at.
I feel like this is a great example of how in football we always analyze all of these different positions and different parts of the game and this and that, and like you go into the deep stats on Louisville and their pass rush and their offensive line and all this stuff. At the end of the day, if you have a quarterback that is that much better than all the other players on the field, they're going to win you the game. If it's close, they're going to win you the game. And Cam Ward has done that for Miami now several times. And you can look at Miami's schedule and say, yeah, you know, maybe Syracuse is decent. Maybe they'll keep it close. But I trust Cam Ward in all of those games to be able to score 45 points or 50 points. So as much as the people that listen to the show hate Miami and are saying this is going to come back and bite them at some point this season, I really don't think it is. I really think Miami is just going to be undefeated this year, and it won't matter that they only beat Cal, Virginia Tech, and Louisville by a touchdown, because the way the playoff is set up now, if they are in the ACC championship game, and I would venture to guess even if they lose the ACC championship game,
they'll still get in.
They're going to get in the playoff because Cam Ward is that good.
I think we can all agree on what it is that I'm about to say, because I don't think there's any argument on this. I could make the University of Miami have 2 or 3 losses already this season if I take away a catch you made on your ass on 4th down and I make a couple of calls go a different way, and it would make Cam Ward no lesser a quarterback than what I'm presently saying. Whether they're 4-3 or 7-0, he's the best quarterback I've seen play this season, and when I'm watching, I'm like, second place doesn't look obvious to me. He's on pace for 40 touchdowns.
But the 7-0 helps. I mean, at 4-3, I'm not certain you get this buy-in. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying the 7-0 helps.
Of course it helps for everyone else who does quarterback play is wins and that's it. What I'm telling you is that what I'm watching, independent of that, independent really of whether his defense is any good or whether I actually believe in their skill guys, because I don't. I don't think that these are special skilled people. The quarterback is making everyone look special. Restrepo has looked good with a variety of different quarterbacks, so I'll give him that. And the receivers are better than they were last year. But that's not elite talent that they have at receiver. It's elite talent they have at quarterback.
Yeah, Louis Riddick did say that he thinks Arroyo's probably a first-round pick. And the backfield does have some talent and some depth. I think Zay Horton's come along, and Restrepo statistically is going to obliterate the record book. And as you mentioned, he's good with everybody else. I've actually been pleasantly surprised by the wide receivers because it's been a concern. I don't
mean it as a knock, Mike. I really don't.
I understand.
I'm coming from an age when the receivers were Brian Blades, Michael Irvin, and Brett Perriman, all first and second round picks. And what I'm looking at receiver to me doesn't look like a ton of professional talent.
I generally agree. Sam Brown, it was good to see that he had finally erupted for a big game, but he was reputed as a guy that could be drafted in the upper rounds, and he kind of struggled to get on board. But for me, the main takeaway is the takes have been flying. I actually had a very polite discourse with an AP voter who put Miami because they make all this public.
I don't think. Wait a minute.
No.
That's not
polite discourse.
Voter. I mean,
No. So like an AP voter that had Miami at number 11. He ranked Miami at number 11. Yeah.
Did they go down?
He put him in his own top 25 at number 11. Now, this has happened before where there was someone who very clearly, who was golfing all day, according to their social media, put Miami at number 16 after they beat Cal. And
He's stalking this person?
No, because they put
It's
the
weird.
graph.
I
They
mean,
put the graphic up there.
Yeah, but leave the guy alone. I mean,
person's or woman
trying to get somewhere with this. So they put a graphic of like who's voting where on the AP. So I'm curious, like, why are you putting Miami 16? And the guy's excuse was the thing didn't save. So that was 2 weeks ago. And this week, the person he defended, and it's a common knock against Miami. He held against them that they've been in close games for the last 3 weeks. And then in the same top 25, he put Tennessee at like number 6. And I'm like, well, how are they allowed to have 3 close games? In fact, lose one of them, go to overtime against a team that Miami thoroughly dismantled on the road, and then beat an Alabama team that's probably the weakest Alabama team in 16 years. He's like,
SEC.
Great points, probably different next week. Thank you.
I think also they're like, this is the whole thing about the SEC hashtag. It just means more. That frustrates people that aren't SEC fans, because you look at Tennessee beating Alabama and you're like, well, on the one hand, it's a top 10 win. On the other hand, like, Alabama, are they even a top 10 team this year? I don't think so. They're really struggling right now. But you just get bonus points because you're playing against this SEC schedule that everyone thinks is better. And some metrics back that up. And it's a tough conference. I'm not doubting that. But then you look at Miami's schedule, and I can't say for sure who Miami's best win is, but it's probably Florida, right?
Probably Florida now, especially considering how Florida played against Kentucky.
And then if you're comparing Miami's undefeated, but their best win is an unranked Florida team, to Tennessee, who has 1 loss and their best win. And Oklahoma, you can throw out the window because they are bad. Their offense is terrible, and that win is not going to count for them or for Texas anymore. Their best win's Alabama. You still, as a voter, rank Alabama higher than Florida, so you give Tennessee the benefit of the doubt, even though they have the loss.
Miami kind of needs Duke to be a good team when they play next week, just in the eyes of folks.
What a sentence!
Yeah, kind of needs that, because there really isn't a ranked win.
Andy Diaz is Duke.
We talked about this briefly, in that like it's weird. You hold against them the fact that they almost win, because it makes the teams that they're beating look worse. Cal is an infuriating team that honestly should be undefeated. If you want to hold against Miami that they played in a one-score game against Cal, that's the most valid out of all of them. All they've done is play one-score games this year.
Mike is mad. Mike is mad, and I got to be honest, I've seen this too and gotten like a stir of some old embers of mad. I'm like, God damn it, Cal.
What are you doing?
Like, you're making the win that Miami had against you worse every week because you keep losing by a score to everybody.
They're trying, Dan.
They keep trying to set up field goals, and they can't kick field goals. It's infuriating.
They lost to FSU. There's no way you can convince anyone that Cal is decent.
But they lost because they missed a field goal. Like, they miss field goals. It's a little infuriating. For me, like, look, we can parse these things all day. I think treetop view is Miami's exactly where they hoped they would be year 3 into Mario Cristobal's tenure here. You saw last year they had a lot of one-score losses. This year they have a lot of one-score wins. One-score losses is generally a good year-to-year indicator of how your season and luck is going to turn around. I think that this is all about building a foundation, and Miami, in my wildest dreams, if you would have told me, I'd be traveling and I'd see like 3 road wins already, which is already a 300% increase over all the wins that I saw on the road since 2017. I'm very happy. I think winning is hard, and I like that they're winning games, and they currently have an 86% chance to make the playoffs according to ESPN's FPI. So I would give them A's across the board as to how this year has gone.
By your math, Cal is going to compete for a national championship next year.
I'd say, yeah.
Good indicator.
Yeah, it's a good indicator.
Yeah.
A good indicator that they're going to win those next year. I got to fire this bum coach.
I need people to, I really do need them to understand a couple of things about this that are just magical, okay? Magical. One is the ingredients, the Molotov cocktail of ingredients that are the best quarterback, but he's reckless. The defense allows a lot of 50-yard plays, and Cristobal's going to find a way to lose one of these. Like, everyone believes that is so, that if indeed Mario Cristobal is on the right track in year 3, it'll be 10-2 with 2 losses that are his fault.
He's not going to escape that. Although from a game management standpoint, that's another A across the board. He's nailed them. Even the ones that you're wondering, like, why are you not calling a timeout there? Statistically the best. Why are you going for 2 there? He's actually pushing the right buttons there, but I'm with you. His reputation precedes him.
Mike, did I see something at the end of the game? Did Cam Ward fumble the snap on the kneel down at the end of the game?
He did. That's why we don't kneel around these parts. Yeah, he almost botched that.
I saw it and I was like, oh no.
So
Cam Ward, small hands.
So there's that over there, Stugotz. You have this cocktail of, oh wow, Miami's interesting. They're wildly interesting offensively. They've got the best quarterback, but he's reckless, and they're undefeated.
Hey everyone, it's Mike Ryan. We here at the Dan Batard Show with Stugotz are excited to partner with Miller Lite to let you, our loyal audience, play along with one of our most popular segments we have, Weekend Observations, presented by Miller Lite. On October 21st, you will be able to go to DraftKings.com in order to make guesses on what will happen during the Weekend Observations segment on Tuesday, October 29th. How many beeps will there be? Will Stugotz swear? Who will be the first person to interrupt Stu? Oh, the winner? Yeah, the winner gets a trip for you and a guest to come to Miami and hang out with us at Flanagan's for a Thursday night football game on November 21st. Oh, and you get to see a taping of the show. Make sure you go to DraftKings and play free to win. And then tune into the show and check how you did. Look forward to seeing you. Or not, since only one of you will win. But the one that does, it's going to be fun. Make sure to enter. Must be 21 plus to enter. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA is finally back, and a new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. First time, new DraftKings customers bet just $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN, that's code DAN, D-A-N, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
Dan Le Batard.
If all the raindrops were lemon drops and gumdrops, oh, what a rain that would be.
Stugotz.
Standing outside with my mouth open wide. If all the raindrops were lemon drops and gumdrops, oh, what a rain that would be.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
What Jessica was saying about the SEC, and we can argue the rest of the season. You know, the SEC will go like 4-5 in bowl games, and then we'll all be like, see, it wasn't that good. But this is what
They'll all be in the playoff.
Yes, correct. That's right. But what happens in the SEC, and this part's funny, and it's just because an entire generation has been battered by what Saban is. And to watch Georgia knock off what Saban was, all of us know this. Well, Georgia's good. So Alabama's going to be good because anybody who beats Georgia, we're going to say is good. Alabama can lose to Vanderbilt, can lose to Tennessee, can lose to everybody in the SEC, and we're still going to say, well, I know that if I line up their athletes against Ohio State's athletes, I'm going to always believe in Alabama's athletes because I've watched them do it for 17 years. Now, Georgia is that, and I don't think any of us believe Miami is the top of that conference, because if you think these 50-yard plays against Cal are a big deal, do it against LSU. Play LSU and see how quickly their receivers embarrass your secondary.
I would say that is the concern because the schedule has not been too difficult, but they're still undefeated, so you give them credit. once they get to the playoff and start playing some of those teams, will the Canes be able to get past those teams?
My favorite scenario out of all of these in the playoffs and matchups is there is an ACC tiebreaker that would see an undefeated Miami not qualify for the ACC championship game.
Oh, boy.
Which
part of me is rooting for that.
Yeah, you should want that. By the
I mean, I want the bye.
You're
but-
undefeated.
I want the bye, but I kind of just want to see the chaos that potentially has 4 ACC teams in the college football playoff.
Dan, you brought up the Georgia-Texas game. Did you see that Matthew McConaughey put out a statement yesterday about the Texas fans throwing bottles on the field?
I can't believe that we didn't get to that yesterday. This was like just getting rewarded Texas fans for throwing shit on the field.
He called it a bogey move.
Can I hear from Kirby Smart on this? Because Kirby Smart, Stugotz, you were bashing him a little bit yesterday because I don't think Kirby Smart was wrong in saying everybody was picking Texas, Stugotz. A whole lot of people were willing to give the SEC over to Texas just because they beat Alabama last year.
I understand, but no one has forgotten about Georgia.
But
no one's disrespecting
Stugotz,
Georgia.
you picked Texas by double digits.
I did, yeah.
That's disrespecting Georgia.
It is, but Kirby Smart doesn't care what I have to say.
Or it's respecting Texas.
I mean, come on, Dan.
No, but to respect Texas, Jess, to respect Texas is to disrespect Georgia.
Well,
what if you respect both? I said on Gen CFB, Georgia wins by 2 points or Texas wins by 10. Now, I was wrong, but I did respect them enough to say that I could see them winning by 2. So Kirby Smart, not talking about me.
I just have rules to this stuff, as you know. You cannot win 2 national championships in 3 seasons and come out after a victory and said no one believes in us.
Jessica,
everyone forgot about us. No one forgot about Georgia.
Jessica, Stugotz. He was talking to you, Jessica. You thinking?
SEC respect.
No, Jessica.
SEC, I respect. It just means more, Dan. It just means more.
Jessica?
It just means more.
Jess, you disrespect Kirby Smart by saying, well, I can see Texas winning big, but I can't see Georgia winning big.
I disrespected Kirby Smart by saying he got away with assault the weekend before because he pushed the Mississippi State quarterback, and it was a bad look.
We didn't even
Bad
talk
look.
about that. We just
He did apologize.
You know what,
So I
though?
respect the apology.
I got to be honest with you guys. Bad look as a criticism isn't taking me anywhere in 2024. It is correct to point out a number of bad looks all over the place, but there's never a consequence to a bad look other than someone saying it's a bad look. There's not enough. By degrees,
That's enough.
I don't feel like it is enough, though. People, as a criticism.
I'm not going to disrespect him, Dan.
You already did, Jess.
I do.
Jess, by saying he would only win by 2.
But she said he could win. I mean,
no, but only by 2. She couldn't imagine.
Some people said they couldn't win at all.
Right.
I said they could win by 2.
That's disrespect.
I thought it would be a close game, or I thought it'd be a Texas blowout. Turns out neither. But I did respect them enough to say it could be a close game.
You did not. No, the nation did not properly respect Kirby Smart this weekend by thinking that Texas had overtaken what has been his conference, which he stole from Saban. And he's like, you don't get to do that in a season and a half. You don't get to do that in 4 games. And you sure as shit don't get to do it because you beat Alabama last year by 2 touchdowns, and nobody was used to seeing Alabama lose by 2 touchdowns.
That's because he never beats them. I mean,
why is Matthew McConaughey the fun police now? All of a sudden, like he's like the commissioner on how fans should behave, and he puts out letters lecturing students on what they should be doing.
He's the minister.
Shut up.
He's like the Ryan Cortez of Texas. He's the
Ugh.
minister of Texas propaganda, and he put out a little statement saying that, hey, not cool. That was BS. Don't do that. And you know what? In this case, he's right, and I respect Matthew McConaughey for calling out the students for doing that, because don't throw stuff on the field. You could hurt someone.
Bogey.
Billy.
But it did end up working, so they're probably going to do it again.
Which is worse? Someone getting hit by a plastic bottle or someone getting hit in the head with someone's helmet?
A pick 6 getting called back is worse.
I think that what we're not talking about here is the fact that the eye in the sky, once again, just picks and chooses when it wants to come in and change a call. So if you don't know this, Georgia was on offense. Georgia throws an interception, and then they call pass interference on the defense. And it's a questionable call. I didn't think it was like...
It was a terrible call.
There was contact. Whatever. All right, it was a terrible call. I'll give you that it was a terrible call.
Contact created by the wide receiver.
So now Texas fans start throwing stuff in the end zone. The end zone's filled with water bottles. So there's like a 6-minute delay. And during this 6 minutes, the eye in the sky just decides, hey, this was a bad call. So the ref goes up to all the coaches like, hey, we're going to take away that call. During the 5 minutes, because the fans threw shit, we just decided it was a bad call. There was no challenge. They just decided of all the calls made through the game, this one is going to just change. Even though I'm sure there was holding calls, I'm sure there was other pass interference calls that could have been changed, but they just decided. And it's a slippery slope of, oh, there's a little time here. Hey, did we get that wrong? Oh. Like it's a slippery slope, and I said it last week.
That is a slippery slope.
I said it before.
You're right. You're using it correctly.
I said it last week, and everyone was like, "What are you talking about? Let's just get the call right." You can't just pick and choose when this eye in the sky gets to change things.
Don't let your skis get out in front of you.
Exactly.
Well
the
said.
slippery slope is letting the fans delay the game so long that the refs are able to confer and then change their mind. Because if you're going to throw stuff on the field, what's next? Someone's going to decide, I'm going to go streak now, because that's going to take a really long time. They're going to be able to watch the replay on the Jumbotron, and everyone's going to be booing, and then the refs are going to be like, oh.
Yeah.
But no, Chris, you're right. The SEC, they screwed this one up.
I'm jealous
they
of
screwed
this
it up
precedent.
big time.
Because I threw something on the field when the review said that Don Chaney fumbled against Georgia Tech. We threw plenty. We threw plenty of stuff on that field, and they didn't change that call.
Billy, there were a couple of things that just happened that I found a little bit alarming that we just skipped right past.
It's a slippery slope.
You
Dan.
told, well, that's one of them. You telling Matthew McConaughey to shut up.
Did I?
Yes.
You did.
I blacked out a second.
You did.
I just don't like these. You're.
Don't tell me how to be a fan.
Look, you're a naked bongo guy, right? You're not even a great actor, if we're going to be perfectly honest with you. Like, all of a sudden, now you're going to tell me how to behave as a fan? Shush it up.
That's where you
Shush it up.
Have you seen
Please.
Interstellar?
You're in Sing.
Have you seen Dallas Buyers Club?
You're in Sing, too. And by the way, I thought Michael Jackson was canceled, but all of a sudden there's a Sing Thriller? Okay.
Whoa. You don't think McConaughey's a good actor?
No, I don't. And I love Fool's Gold. I'll tell you that right now. Love Fool's Gold. I'll watch it anytime
Is
it's
that
on.
Terry Bradshaw's
Great movie.
ass? Is
no,
that
no,
what's
that's
with that one?
Failure to launch.
Yeah, something about that.
There is a Sing Thriller.
Sing Thriller. It's on Netflix. Yeah,
Flipper's in that.
Really?
Of course he is.
Comes full circle.
No one gets canceled anymore. Have you guys noticed this?
Yes. No, it's just
like streaming services. It's impossible to cancel.
Al
You
Franken.
try, but it
The
doesn't go.
FTC is changing that.
The who?
Really.
Al Franken's like the only
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Not even Flipper.
He's self-canceled.
Yeah. Well, that's how.
Yeah, that's how that happened. Yes. You guys, you hit someone with a bad look, and then no one gets canceled, and then the comedians eat up the podcast space by being too dangerous, too hot for the mainstream. That's what's been happening in the cancellation culture that never was, is that by degrees we say bad look and there are no consequences. But Billy, you just blasphemed against McConaughey because I think
I'm fine.
Well, but
I'm good with my choices.
Okay.
I don't care.
He's done more bad movies than good in Billy's
you.
Fair
defense.
enough.
True detective.
That's fair enough.
Yes.
He had to rebuild his
Yes.
career. If you listen to his amazing audiobook, which is you have to listen to this one. Do not read it. It is a work of pure fiction. But he covers that, how he had to rebuild his career.
He's
and then it was a green
insane,
light.
correct? Everyone understands that McConaughey is a bit insane. Yes,
Crazy like a fox.
I'm not going to disrespect Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Me
Or
neither.
Kirby Smart. I
Well-
will disrespect Sark.
You did tell him to just shut up, though.
Is that disrespectful?
A little bit.
Why?
He has an Academy Award.
Oh, please.
What is that? You don't respect.
It's what
you
they
need to
hand
win two
out
of them.
the actors.
It's like it's their Oscars.
Yeah.
Best actor.
It's
best
their
movie.
Suey Awards.
Billy, have you seen Interstellar?
Academy
Have you
Award.
seen Interstellar, Billy? I can tell you what Interstellar is about during the break. I did it a couple weeks ago for the
Please
video
don't.
team. It's so good, Billy.
What's it about?
Okay, so there's this like future world, and
I'm out.
climate change is happening, and there's like a drone flying
Future
around,
world.
and there's corn stalks everywhere, and they have to find a new planet, and they have to find a new planet to move all of the human beings to because the old planet is dying. And Matthew McConaughey has 2 kids. One of them is Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, well, who turns into Casey Affleck,
does
speaking
turn
of
into
people that
Casey
aren't
Affleck, and
actually
then he-
canceled.
he
Turns
ends up-
into 2 people?
Yes, he ends up not like. That's a good point.
Is Chalamet the one that's dating a Jenner?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still together.
Yeah, I think they're still together.
It's
Now
actually
I'm
good
in.
casting, and there you could see like, oh, this guy does look like he grows up to be somebody that should be canceled but isn't.
So he goes into space with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
And they have this like little robot thing called TARS. I think it's called TARS. You're like, Tars actually
Sold the
might have
movie.
been the star of the show.
Sold the movie.
But it's a Christopher Nolan movie. That's enough. McConaughey with Nolan's enough to sell the movie.
Yeah,
is it
but
not?
Planets, the time is all
scratching the
different.
surface here.
So they're on this planet for 2 minutes, but it's 7 years on Earth, and his kids are getting older, and they're having families, and then his daughter turns into Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. You know how it is, like when you take you think you're following the GPS, but you're like, oh, I'm walking in the wrong direction. If that happens on the planet that they're on, that's 14 years.
Wow.
Should I say the spoiler? There's a big spoiler.
Yeah,
Someone
say it.
shows up. Spoiler alert to all the fans. They go with the planet. Matt Damon is on the planet and he's frozen.
And he's a terrible
and he
person.
Wakes up and he's an
just
asshole.
An asshole.
Just an absolute
huge asshole. He cost him years. Years,
the
like with a
worst.
Z.
He's trying to doom humanity. And Matthew McConaughey is like,
He's just
no.
looking out for number one.
And then Matthew
Throwing
McConaughey is like, you know
bottles
what?
on the planet and shit,
My
probably.
kids are getting older. They're mad at me because I never came back. I'm trying to find this new planet. I'm going to go into a black hole. I'm going to suck myself into a black hole.
Goes into a black hole.
And then he goes back to
McConaughey?
his daughter's bedroom when she's a kid, and he does this weird thing with like the sand and the
But
dust.
they laid the foundation. Because like when you go in the room the first time, like a book falls off the shelf, and you're like, huh, that was curious.
And it was him from the
It was
future in the
Matthew
black hole.
McConaughey inside the black hole pushing the books.
And then he's able to help Jessica Chastain, his daughter, create the formula to fix whatever's going on with the planet. I can't explain that part. That part gets
and I'm
into
pretty
some
sure
physics.
Casey Affleck named his son Cooper.
Jessica,
we named him Coop
Couple of
after you.
Coopers.
Is there any reason, Jessica, that you went so bravely into the scientific description
Into
of something
physics.
you clearly
There's a
weren't
whole
going to be able
special.
to explain?
No, there's
Trust me,
a
man, you don't want me
science
to
of
get started.
Inception. You need to kind
You don't want me to get started on it.
You
don't
need
want
to
me
see
get
the
started
science
on
of
it.
Interstellar because it ties everything together.
So to like save the planet, we don't actually move to another planet. We just go to the other planet and then send the information back to this planet to change what happened so that we save the planet.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, but we
Billy-
do leave the planet too.
Yeah, right.
At the end?
Yeah, they go to the Cooper station. He's like, thank you for naming it after me. And they're like, we didn't. We named it after your daughter. Also, you have a grandson that's probably named Cooper.
Wow.
I never realized that.
Speaking of new planets, Elon Musk has said that he is going to build a city on Mars, and he's going to do it by 2054, where 1 million people can live there by 2054. You know what that means, Dan? That means we're never going to Mars. I mean, if Elon Musk is telling you 2054, million people living on Mars, and I'd love to know how he's going to select those million people, that means it's never happening. We will never live on Mars, ever, if Elon Musk has anything to say about it.
I was thinking about his rocket ship, and I'm not a rocket scientist, as we all know. I was thinking about his rocket ship that flies up and then it gets caught by like the claw machine game, right? And like, that seems cool, right? But like, you have to have one of those on Mars. How's that going to get there if you need one of those to land?
It's never going to happen. We can't find 32 people to play quarterback. We're not going to figure out interstellar travel.
He can't get a Tesla to my driveway. I mean,
How are we going to live on Mars before we have flying cars
And
on
then when
this
he
planet?
comes back, Jessica Chastain's, she's like 85.
Yeah, he goes to essentially his daughter's deathbed.
It's crazy.
But he's still a young man. And she's like, go find Anne Hathaway.
Elon's going to be 83 in 2054. I kind of want to see what 83-year-old Elon is saying.
do you think there'll be sports radio on Mars?
You know, I own an
That's
acre.
what it would sound like.
I own an acre on Mars.
You do?
Someone gave it to me as a gift.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah. An acre of land on Mars.
Billy, the other thing that I wanted to get to with McConaughey and the shut up is that you really condescended Chris Cody from the back by not allowing him to go slippery slope there in a way that was confident. He was talking slippery slope, and Billy was pointing at you as if
It was a callback. No, we were pointing, me and Jess, we made eye contact. We pointed as a callback to last time we talked about slippery slopes. Eye in the sky, slippery slope.
It doesn't sound right, though, when Chris Cody is taking the moral stand. You specifically, I feel like, should be banned from using the phrase, this is a moral slippery slope, even though you're just talking about Texas fans throwing something on the field.
He had Georgia.
Yeah, I did.
Hey everyone, it's Mike Ryan. We here at the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz are excited to partner with Miller Lite to let you, our loyal audience, play along with one of our most popular segments we have, Weekend Observations, presented by Miller Lite. On October 21st, you will be able to go to DraftKings.com in order to make guesses on what will happen during the Weekend Observations segment on Tuesday, October 29th. How many beeps will there be? Will Stugotz swear? Who will be the first person to interrupt Stu? Oh, the winner? Yeah, the winner gets a trip for you and a guest to come to Miami and hang out with us at Flanagan's for a Thursday night football game on November 21st. Oh, and you get to see a taping of the show. Make sure you go to DraftKings and play free to win. And then tune into the show and check how you did. Look forward to seeing you. Or not, since only one of you will win. But the one that does, it's going to be fun. Make sure to enter. Must be 21 plus to enter. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Bada, bada boom, sold.
Huh?
Just sold my car on Carvana. Dropping it off and getting paid today.
Already?
What, you still haven't sold yours? You told me about it months ago.
Is
the offer good?
Oh, the offer's great.
Don't have another car yet?
I could trade it in for this car I love.
Come on, what are we waiting for?
You're right.
Let's go.
Whether you're looking to sell your car right now or just whenever feels right, go to Carvana.com and sell your car the convenient way. Terms and conditions apply.